Hello, everyone. This is Rick van Bruggen from Technology, and here we are again recording an episode for our Neo4j Graph Database podcast. It's a wonderful Wednesday afternoon, and together with me on the call here, Skype call, is Tobias from Neo in Malmö. Hi, Tobias.
Hello, Rick.
Hi, welcome on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Tobias, I invited you to the podcast for a couple of reasons, but maybe you could start by introducing yourself so people know who you are.
Yeah, so I am Tobias Lindaaker. I work as a senior developer at Technology, working on pretty much all things in the development of Neo4j. I've had my hand in almost all features that we've released.
That's pretty amazing, and that's probably a good lead into why I sort of wanted to talk to you, because you're probably one of the first engineers that Neo hired, isn't it?
Well, I was the first engineer that the company actually hired.
When was that?
That was in 2007.
Oh, wow.
September 2007, I got on the company to help our very first customers with using Neo4j.
Wow, and how did you get into it? Did you know some of the founders then?
Yeah, so me and Emil went to college together. I taught him calculus, and he thought I was good enough at that he might as well give me a shot at doing this job for him.
Well, any gory details that you can share with us? Always appreciated.
On Emil?
Yeah, of course.
From the early days?
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
So I did not only teach him calculus, he taught me a great deal about programming, because he actually wrote code back in the days. In particular about testing, because he was really big on testing. He spent more of his time writing tests for his code than writing the actual code. So he was always last with handing in his lab assignments, because he spent so much time developing his tests and his testing framework and all of that stuff. So he didn't actually get the job done. He just played around it.
Do you still remember what was the first, sort of feature or project that you were working at the time?
With Neo4j?
Yeah.
That would have so the first project was a customer project.
Okay.
So I was working on a geospatial system. We were doing road user charging, so essentially road tolls.
Yep.
Based on GSM-based positioning. So we had an algorithm, or an idea for an algorithm for how to use GSM triangulation by knowing the position of the cell towers, and then collecting. So we had two modes for this system. One where we would collect data and store that in Neo4j to match what the signal profile from different cell towers looked like when driving on particular roads. So we would find profiles for roads, and then we'd use that when a user was driving on in the same area to match the signal profile from the cell towers with what road that meant that he was driving on. So that was the first project I did with Neo4j.
Super cool. So how has it been? What's it like to work for a startup that's been going through all this evolution in the past 8-9 years?
I think so. The main thing for me is the fact that it's a startup, or at least has been a startup. It's finally. This year, I'm starting to see signs that we're growing up and becoming a mature company, but there's been lots of ups and downs getting there.
Yep.
There was the failure to get investment of 2008, where the company nearly went bankrupt, and we were almost out of jobs, all of us. And then, of course, there's been frustrations with things that happen when you onboard more people and you get less and less influence over the company, because the company grows and becomes bigger. And since I'm pretty much, when we started, everyone was on the same level, because it was just a bunch of guys working on the same thing together.
Yep.
And then as we've grown, I've stayed on the working on things level, and the people who were with me at the time have gone on to be CEO and CTO and such things. So the position, the relative influence, at least in formal terms, has diverged over time, and it's interesting. I get less and less time with my old friends at the
Yeah,
company.
yeah. But I suppose I mean there's new friends coming on board, right? There's new things
Absolutely,
happening,
absolutely,
and there's new exciting stuff happening with the product as well. So
absolutely. And in terms of the product, it's the main driving feature of why I love this company because
mhm,
I think the product really has a lot going for it.
I couldn't agree more. So what do you think the future holds, Tobias? You know, both from your for you as a personal perspective and for the company and you know your job there. You know, what do you think is in store?
So as I said, the company is growing up now, and I think we will start seeing the same. We start seeing effects of that in the product pretty soon. In that we can, um, since the team is growing, we've got more developers now than we've ever had before. And last year we started hiring developers for real.
Yeah,
Started actually growing development team, and this year those developers are up to speed with what we're doing, so we can start continue hiring even more.
yeah.
So what we're starting to see now is the ability to work on a lot more features at the same time, and even start taking risks in what features we're developing, and do and invest in sort of high risk, high reward type of projects where
Yeah.
we aren't really sure if they will pay off, but we've got enough people that we can spend a small team actually trying it out. And that's
Yeah.
really exciting, both in terms of getting to work on those things, but also in terms of the potential that those features can deliver.
Yeah. So maybe I can finish off with one question. You know, what is your favorite feature of Neo4j?
My favorite feature. uh, so
Surprising you there. Sorry.
um, so I can either go very general and say that I really like the model of the
Sure.
graph database
Yeah.
because that's always been the main driving thing behind why I wanted to work on Neo4j, because I really like that model.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not sure that really qualifies as a feature.
No, it isn't, right? So I mean,
So in terms of something smaller, I'd say the query language, if that's good enough to qualify as a feature. It's a recent thing in terms of if you compare to how long I've been with the company.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
The query language hasn't been with the product for as long as I have, but but it's but it's really nice to see the expressivity and usefulness of it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Cool. Well, Tobias, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You know that we want to keep these things nice and short, so
Yeah,
appreciate it. And it's been really cool having you here. And I'm going to be talking to a lot of other colleagues and people that are working on Neo a lot less long than you have. So it'll be interesting to compare notes in the next couple of episodes.
yeah. I'm
Absolutely.
looking forward to hearing that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tobias, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.